Hey friends, welcome in, welcome in. So we are in the Creative Crafters Assemble event group today with hosted by GS Creations. If you're not following either of those, please do so. I would appreciate you giving them that support. My name is Tamara, aka Miss T, from Crafty Fox Creations, and we are doing spring today. Now I am doing my part 2 of a craft that I did yesterday, and I hope that you guys will like it. I've already started prepping some stuff. Now up after me will be Yadi's workshop with my friend Yadira. So please stay tuned so that you can see what it is that she's going to create. She's always amazing. So I hope that you will follow along. Before me, we had Applesauce Creations. And then we also had Miss Cheryl from Sew Glue Cheryl 2. We had Miss Yvonne from the Crafting Gammy. Welcome in. Hey there, Cheryl. How are you, dear? I am so very sorry that I have not commented on videos, but it's been a bit of a crazy day. Hello there, Miss Yelita. How are you? Thank you so much for popping in. And as I said, Yadi's workshop will be up after me. And we are in the Creative Crafters Assemble group. It is a free group, so please make sure that you are following it. And all of the good things. So I'm finishing to share myself out as well. Thank you, Miss Gia. I appreciate it. Okay. Sometimes finding myself is harder than getting myself on here. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So, like I said, I am doing a part 2 because I wanted to create a set of what I did yesterday. So, if you guys joined me yesterday, it's going to be very similar, but it's not exactly the same. So hopefully you guys will like it. And if you didn't join me yesterday, no worries, because hopefully you'll be inspired as well. So let me grab my charging cable right quick. And I'm going to turn my camera so you guys can see what it is that I have on the table. Alright, so I did a little bit of prep work. And let me show you. Now, I'll show you after. I'll show you afterwards. Hello there, Miss Dorothy. Oh, thank you, dear. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming in. Alright, so I have already pre-cut my scrapbook paper down to fit in here. And I also went ahead and pre-painted the green part because it's never exactly perfect. Plus I wanted the green to come up a little bit, so that will be really nice. I'm just going to use regular old school glue. You can use whatever your decoupaging medium is. It could be actual decoupage medium, it could be Mod Podge, any of that will work. I just like good old Elmer school glue. It works for me. How about that? So I use what works for me. You know, it's cheap and it does the job. So, and plus I use Elmer school glue for lots of things. And It just makes a lot of things easy. So hopefully everybody has been able to follow along a little bit, and if not, no worries. You can go to the free group, the Creative Crafters Assemble. Now that link is in the description. That link is in the description, so if you need it to be able to follow the group, again, it is a free group for you to watch all of the creators of these events. And our theme being spring, I thought this with bunnies was going to look really, really cute. So, has everyone had a good day so far? Can you believe it? I find it crazy that it is already the end of the week, y'all. But at the same time, I'm very glad that it is the end of the week, you know? Hey there, Miss Alicia. How are you? Welcome in, Rosa. Thank you for being here, friends. I appreciate it. Alright, so we're going to set this to the side for it to dry just for a little bit. And we're going to work on painting these little wood pieces here. Let me sand this just right quick because I don't like it. So these are little ears that I had from a wood kit, but if you have by any chance, you know, cardboard, you can do that. Oh my gosh, Apple Dolly, not applesauce. I am so sorry, my friend. I totally butchered your page name. How are you doing, my friend? Please forgive me. I don't even know where I got that from. How terrible of me. And it's not like I don't watch you to know what your name is. I'm trying to find... That one will do. Some of these paintbrushes, sometimes after a while, they get to where they don't hold their shape very well. And when you're working with small things, it's not good. Okay, so I'm just taking pink parfait, and I'm going to be painting the inside of the ears. Yeah, I do not know where I got applesauce from. I don't know, maybe I'm hungry. Actually, it's almost 6 o'clock. I'm surprised my daughter hasn't come looking for me to ask if I'm cooking dinner and what am I making. I hope not, dear. Y'all, I am burning up in here. I don't know about you guys, but right now it gets warm in the daytime, so I end up having the heat on. You have to have the AC or fan going, and then at night you're freezing your tushy off. So then you're turning on the heat. Ugh, I wish this weather would just make up its mind once and for all. I don't know yet, Miss Alicia. I have no clue what I'm making for dinner. In my mind, there's so much leftovers still in the fridge, but my daughter's one of those people who doesn't like to eat lots of leftovers. Unless you reinvent the leftovers, which is what I'll probably end up having to do. Hello there, Miss Heather. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to dry these just for a little bit to see how deep we got our paint as far as color-wise. You're like your, yeah. I don't know if it's just, you know, I got used to, and growing up, my dad would not, if we had leftovers, you know, you didn't let food waste, because there was always some child going hungry somewhere, and we were ungrateful if we didn't eat our food, me and my brother. So okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of darker to kind of add a bit of a highlight and shadow into my ears. Yes, I am making a bunny. I am, because, you know, it is springtime, and whenever I hear springtime, I think of cute little bunnies. Like, we have little field bunnies, and it's so cute to watch them when they pop up in the backyard. So that is what I am creating. Again, I'm putting just down a line of the darker color, and then I'm coming with the same brush and I'm grabbing the lighter color while it's still wet and coming over, so we can mix and blend the colors together to make that shadow. Now, I'm not the paint expert, but that's a little trick there that I've learned over my years of playing with stuff. Okay. Hey there, Trisha. How are you? Welcome in, dear. Welcome in. All right. So those are the centers of our ears. Like I said, we gave them a little bit of a highlight, of a shadow. And now we're going to paint. This paint's coming out. Now, you know what I was just thinking? That for what I want, it doesn't matter if you're not supposed to see the inside of the ears. So I guess we're gonna do it this way, because we're doing the back of the bunny. So I don't even know why I did that. It's not like I can see them, right? Because if you're looking at the back of the bunny, you're seeing the back of the ears. Oh well. I guess I was thinking because the other one I did was the front of the bunny. It's okay. We will get this. It'll be okay. It'll be a-okay. We'll just paint the backs. Act like it never happened. You won't even notice. But now I'm gonna have to do extra coats because this is the back of whatever. It looks like some kind of plywood, MDF type material, compressed wood that these were made out of. So not a big fan of those lines. And I'm using the color burnt. No, not burnt. It's warm buff. I'm using warm buff is what I'm using. So that will be okay, and then we're gonna come back to this one. Hey there, Miss Teresa. How are you, my friend? Okay, that looks good. Let's get that dried. Thank you for the sprinkles. I appreciate it, friend. Yeah, we'll have to give these another coat still. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, my friend. Yeah, this definitely needs another coat. If it would have been a darker color, it would not have been as noticeable, but I am using a lighter color, so a few extra layers, I guess. It'll be alright. We'll just give it the extra layers it needs. Normally, on the opposite side, it doesn't take as much. I don't know why the back side of this would. I noticed it with the other pieces I've done, and it just go up that way so you're out of my way. Now for the body of our bunny, we're going to be using a doily. Oh, thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, I was looking up here so I didn't see them. Thank you, dear. That was so kind of you, Miss Heather. I appreciate that. So this is my back, okay? Now these 8x8 squares, I got them at my local Ollie's. They were from Joann's, the Park Lane brand, and they were selling them at $3 at a pack. So I thought that was, and you could not beat the price. It was a very, very good price. It was like $2. Seriously, really good price for them, especially considering that when Joann sold them, they were like $9.99. Because I love the size, so I've used them before. My body of my bunny is gonna be a doily. we are going to use a doily. So, you know, if you're out thrifting and you find doilies and you wonder like, oh, what can I do with them? This is an idea for them. Now, I already had pieces of wood laying around, like I said, from a wood kit that I never really completed. And that's okay. I'm just using them now for this. And I think I'm actually going to tuck the ears behind it for this go around. And then we're going to put a really cute pom-pom on here. So that's the idea for this. I hope not. I don't like ants. Well, I don't have issues with ants. I just don't want them on my shirt. I don't want them on me. Okay. I am going to, before we start gluing everything down and before I get this part kind of in the way, I'm going to do the edges. And I am going to be using one of my favorite colors to use right now, which is the Berry Red from Craft Smart. And I'm just using an angled brush so that I can get to the edges and hopefully not go over too much on it. No, because if this is the back of the bunny, you know, we're not seeing. So I had to paint the back side and do them plain, because I just realized. I'm like, wait a second. If I'm looking at the back side of a bunny, I'm not seeing the inside of his ears. So I did that part for nothing. I didn't have to paint them. Yeah. So that was me not thinking. But I'm glad I caught myself, because if not, I think it would have looked weird having, because we're going to put a pom-pom so it looks like the bunny's tail. So if we've got the back side of the bunny, yeah, that's not going to look really good if we've got the color side. So this is the one I made yesterday. This is the companion. So this is the front. So with this one, I'm going to look at the front of the bunny. With the one we're making today, it's going to be the back of the bunny. So that's why I said it has to be the back side of the ears. And so that way you can hang both of them side by side. They'll be a pair. And you'll have the cute little, I said you'll have the cute little bunnies. I think that's going to be adorable. One from the front and one from the back. I think, because yeah, yesterday when I was doing that one, I was like, oh, wait a second, it'd be so cute to do the back side. And I had another doily, the exact same one. And I had, like I said, I had one other frames because I bought a 3-pack. And I still had a set of ears left, so I was like, okay, that's what I'm doing for my spring event today. Is I'm doing the number 2 to it. You did have me looking, Miss Alicia, didn't you? Like, I don't have issues with bugs and things like that. I just don't want them crawling on me. And I have this thing where if I do find something crawling on me, then I'm psyched out and I feel like something's crawling on me for a good while. And it is not fun. So I really try and hope that the stuff does not crawl on me. So, thank you. Yeah, like I said, I had the idea of doing the other bunny, and then when I was making it, I was like, wait a second, it'd be so cute to have the bunny butt. So we're making the bunny butt. So yeah, so it wouldn't look right if the ears were pointing, because you know, we're not trying to make a creepy bunny that's got his head twisted in a weird way. That's not the idea here. So if you guys ever, have doilies, this is an idea. I know we've seen the snowmen and the pumpkins, and here recently I've seen people doing sheep with doilies as well. Well, we can make bunnies with them. So, alright. Make sure that we've got decent coverage. I think we're good. Maybe try to cover up some of this green where I got on here. But it doesn't have to be it's cute. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. I'm good with it. Okay. So, I ended up not needing that one. Alright. We're gonna make sure that this is all dried. I was in someone's live yesterday. Oh, Tailored by Debbie, and she was shaking her heat tool, and a lady and she was talking about how she was gonna have to replace it because it was acting up sometimes. And someone in the comments said, they mentioned how I think she was using the Ranger one, but how they've said that the problem with why heat tools go bad quicker is because people shake them and it messes with the element, the heat element inside of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So I'm trying to catch myself not to do that, if I can remember. That's why you saw me kind of like pause for a second and be like, whoa, 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 wait a second. Let me not do that. Let me not do that. Trying to find which side I want. I think we're going to do this side. Alright. So we're going to attach it with like the ears underneath. But in such a way that I can still, alright, so I'm going to use wood glue for these, and this is just Dollar Tree wood glue, nothing special really, nothing fancy or anything like that. Dollar Tree wood glue works just as well as actually most other things that I've used. The only thing is you do have to give it time to dry. That is the only thing. Now, for this part here, we are going to use, for this part here, we are going to use Fabri-Tac or Fabrifix or 3-in-1, whichever one of those you use and you have, okay? Okay, so I'm going to put mostly, oh, thank you, Miss Bonnie, I appreciate that, dear. I am going to put mainly where the thicker parts of the crocheting has happened, so that it doesn't seep through as bad, okay, because that's usually one of the issues, is how much this will seep through, and that's usually what we don't like, right? Okay, I'm going to keep that out because we're going to need it. Here we go, here we go. And obviously, if you've ever used any of these glues, you know that you've got to give them time to settle in and all the things. So this will obviously need to dry overnight before, you know, you can pick it up and maneuver it a whole bunch, but it'll be okay. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot this. I'm gonna use Vintage Photo. Come here right quick. I know. Come on. Ah! Before you get too stuck on me. I'm just using Vintage Photo to highlight the edges of, and then I'll put it right back down where the glue was. Right back down where that glue was. Okay, let's lift this one up very carefully. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just using Vintage Photo to darken an edge. And this is an ink. If you work with paper crafting, you know what I'm talking about. These are the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks. I absolutely love working with them. And yes, I do incorporate them, just like I incorporate my paper, into my regular crafts, because I absolutely love working with paper. So I do find reasons for using paper crafting items even when I'm not technically paper crafting. Okay, so this is my big old box of, it's a big old box of pong-pongs. And at first dabs I had grabbed that, but that's not, I don't know if, is white gonna look okay? Or should we look for a brown? I don't know if I have a brown that is that big. I have a black. I have green, which obviously green is not going to go with this. But I wasn't 100% sure if the white would go. I mean, I can always distress it a little bit with my ink, so it's not a straight white. But yeah, it looks like all I have left as far as, you know, that size, because I have small ones. Because, see, I have a black one. I have a black one. Because then the brown ones that I have are really small. I think, a little too small. See what I mean? I think they're kind of small. Right? What do you guys think? I think that's too small. I think I like the bigger poofy tail. What are your thoughts? No, I'm not gonna put a color one. That would look strange. Right? I think if I gave him a pink tail, it looked like he was eating something he shouldn't have been eating. Yeah, the bigger one. Oh, this is not the biggest. I have a big one. But, which I have yet. I gotta take all the other ones off. I have a big one. That's the biggest one I have, Miss Yeti. But that's gonna take up the whole thing. So that one's not gonna work. Hey there, Miss Tracy. How are you, dear? So yeah, so that one would not work. That's a little too big. That is definitely too big. But we could. Let's see if I can get any color on here with. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. I was gonna maybe give him a little bit of color. Yeah, I know. How have you been, Miss Tracy? So, I don't know if you guys can really see where I've been putting the ink on it. It has been, I mean, you still see the overall white, but there is a hint now of the ink. And so I'm just moving it back and forth, moving it back and forth. You're feeling better? Oh my gosh, that is so good to hear, my friend. So good to hear. My son actually has a long weekend off today because they're having a change in command, and whoever was over him and the others, I think like his last order was for them to have the day off yesterday, so he essentially has a long weekend. So he was happy about that. Not sure if he's gonna go off base or anything, but he's been having a lot of fun. Everything from learning and just exploring the area. Okay, so we're going to bring this down here. And again, because I am using Fabrifix, it is going to take it some time to sit. But I think that actually came out pretty good with the brown. With putting the ink on it, I actually like it because you can see like the little haze of the brown kind of going with the tan of this, but then you can see the white from deep down in there peeking through. So I actually like that kind of two-tone that it gave it. Alright, now we are going to, I'm just using a gold paint marker, and we're going to come here on the edge. Then I was supposed to have lunch with my oldest today, but he got called in to a meeting because there were going to be some big wigs in town. So even though it was somewhat his day off, because he's the grocery manager, he doesn't have a day off. Okay. I just pushed down the paint pen a little bit more so that I could get some more paint coming down to the tip. Now I did this one to the first one as well, but I also want to add some more gold to the first one, so I'm going to bring it out and we're going to work on it while this dries. So if you're, I'm going to say that I'm in the Creative Crafters Assemble group. If you have not followed the group, please consider following them. It is a free group to follow and watch the events. Up after me will be Miss Yadi from Yadi's Workshop. And I want to thank Miss Gia from Gia's Creations for hosting these events and for allowing me to be part of them. I love it when I'm able to snag a spot, because the times do go pretty fast in this group, which is a great thing. That just means that people really enjoy you know, being part of the group. So that speaks a lot in volumes. Ooh, crud. Ah, darn it. Okay. Okay, so that's gonna have to be repainted, because that thing decided to bleed everywhere. But you know what? It's just paint, right? It is just paint. That's the good thing. So let's just dry this up a little bit. Finish. That's the one thing I do not like about paint pens, is that either they give you no color coming out, or sometimes you'll have like this big old blob of paint just go everywhere. And this is a fine point metallic. It just says painters. AP. I don't know. Express yourself. I don't even know where I got this. I've been using this one. I haven't had any issues like that before, but it does happen. And you know, but again, it is only paint, so you can paint over it. You can, you know, like, I know we take our craft seriously, but at the same time, don't take it so seriously that you cannot bounce back when you have a little issue with paint. Okay, so I'm going to set this one to the side to dry for a little bit, and we're going to come back to it, because on the one that I did yesterday, I did the gold on the inside, but I want to do it now on the outside as well. And then we'll do that on the other one. See, and I just think that adding that second line is, you know, just gonna give it a little bit more of a pop of interest. Glad that you guys are liking it. Hopefully everybody is having a good evening. I know some of us might be getting ready for dinner time, depending on where you're at. If you're like some of my family, you are already asleep. Because of the time of day that it is. Or you could be like my son, who is starting his day. Because it is only 6 in the morning over in Okie. And it is 11 p.m. over in Europe. So I was just talking about you, Mama. I was just saying that, you know, y'all were probably asleep at this point. We're over here getting ready for dinner or supper. Y'all are in bed. Easy is starting his day because it's 6:48 in the morning over there for him. I hope everybody is doing well. The one thing I will say about this paint pen that I do not like is it stinks. Ugh. And so I'm wondering what it's this has got to be, what is this? I don't know. It's got to be something, because it don't smell right. It's very strong. It's definitely not acrylic paint, that's for sure. So I'm just going over here because I want it to be a little bit thicker. And for this one, I did the same thing. You know, I did the shadow on the ears and the feet, like I mistakenly did earlier. I didn't realize I didn't need it. I also did the oxide ink on the edges to edge out the pieces. I did that as well. Yeah, I think that looks really cute. Now we just gotta let it dry. So this is number 1. This is the front side of our bunny. And I thought about doing the back side on the back of that, but then I was like, no, it would be better if they're side by side. Okay, now where did the lid go? Okay, here we go. And I'm actually going to go ahead and paint the edge. I know I don't have that much time left before we go see Miss Yachty, but what I'm gonna do is, I don't want the raw wood to be shown, so I'm just gonna take the that same warm buff that we used to paint the ears, and I'm just gonna go over the edges here just to make it look clean. And that way it'll look all nice and professional. You know what I mean? Because you do want to. Thank you, dear. Because you do want that. You do want it to look clean and tidy. And that way I can kind of clean up the mess here of my paint. Yes, up next is Miss Yachty, and then up after Miss Yachty is our hostess, Miss Gia. So I'm excited to see what both of these wonderful ladies will be creating for us today. If you missed anybody, please go to the Creative Crafters Assemble group, and that way you will be able to catch all of the replays from today for our spring theme. You get to see what everybody's done, be inspired, and hopefully you will you will do your own, you know? It's like I was telling the wonderful lady before me, Apple Dolly Creations, not applesauce creations, that I loved how she used the little carrot bags, the little like burlappy looking carrot bags, treat bags that you can get at the dollar store. Because I've been wondering, what can I do with them? Like, if I just grab them and stuff them the way they are, they're way too big, like ginormous. But I loved how she took them apart, and even better, I loved that she grunged them with the coffee. So I know what I will be doing. I will be creating some of those little carrots for sure, because I do like making carrots for the springtime and Easter. Carrots and eggs and bunnies, but not like your traditional ones, you know. I don't think I'm very traditional for a lot of things. So my time is almost up, and all I'm doing is adding a layer of paint so that I can clean up my edge here, and then I'm going to add the gold on this edge as well. And my projects, my twofer, front and back of this cute little doily bunny idea will be complete. And I'm actually very happy with how it's come out. You know, sometimes there's those projects where you are just happy because it came out the way you imagined it and envisioned it. So I have some bright colors with the green background, and toned it down a little bit with the darker pink on the edge, because I'm not a big fan of like super bright colors. But then again, I do like pastels. But that's not bright colors. It's brighter than my Gothic, that's for sure. And Easter is all about the pastels. So it's a perfect time to use them. Alright, my friends, so thank you so much for being here. We got that finished up. Like I said, all I'll do is put some gold on that edge, and those are my projects will be completed. Thank you so much for being here. We have our front and our back of our bunny. I think they came out adorable. Thank you so very much for being here. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Have a lovely and blessed evening and weekend, my friends. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Let's go watch Miss Yachty.